Hey, hi everybody, it's Robert Earl out here at the Eco Ranch in Far West, Texas. This is part 4 of the guest bedroom wall build. Part 4 is the, well, it's, to be honest with you, it's a tough one and the scary one. This is the one where we're going to assemble the windows on top of the, windowsill. And yours truly is going to take that 300-pound lintel and put it up on top of the whole thing. So get ready and I'll show you how I do it and how I muscle it into place. Now, Debbie is going to help. Debbie is going to hand me the cinder blocks and be there to, actually just be there to run me to the hospital when the thing falls on my head. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Got to bring the truck in right here and work from there, and you'll see the whole thing. I'll be back, and once we get everything all set up, it's another damn windy day, but we're just going to work through the wind because it is coming from this direction. So the house is blocking it, the water tank's blocking. So, off to the races. Well, here I am, ready to start. And nope, I guess you probably figured out looking at this that nope, I'm not going to pick it up and be a big, gigantic strong man and put it together that way. We're going to do it the way that ancient peoples built their monuments and stuff. Now, I read a book years ago by Thor Heyerdahl, not Kon-Tiki, but Aku Aku, where he went to Eastern Island and where people marveled at those big stone statues, and he did something that was truly innovative that nobody ever thought of doing before, because they looked at these Easter Island statues and they said, how did they do that? And they brought in theories of space aliens and everything else. Thor Heyerdahl did something no one else had thought to do. He sat down and he asked the people on Easter Island, how were these things built? And they told him. And what they did was they took a slab, which their statues were nothing more than slabs like this. They pried it up and they threw some stones under it. Got the lever in a different spot, pried it up a little more, threw some stones under it. Pried it up a little more, threw some stones under it until eventually it was standing up to the point where it slid right into the hole, right where they wanted it. And if it wasn't right where they wanted it, they piled some stones in and they levered it some more. No space aliens, no magic magnetic theories from the navel of the Earth. They just pried it. But thanks to Thor Heyerdahl thinking of something no one else had ever thought of, he just asked, how did you do it? They told him. So that's what we're going to do here. And I will come back as I get a layer or so up. This stone's about 280, I don't have a scale here, so it's hard to guess, but about 280 pounds-ish, something like that. So each end is 140, 170 pounds, something that's manageable for me to lift straight up. So let's get going on it, and hopefully I won't drop it. All right, I'm sitting in the back of the truck, and step 1 is done. Now, I wasn't going to show that because there was a lot of grunting and groaning, and I was afraid I might cuss. So step 1 was to take the lintel and get the lintel off of the bed of the truck. So I tip up one end, Debbie put a block under, tip up the other end, Debbie put a block under, then tip up the second end until we were 2 blocks up. Then we lacked about that much from being even with the sill. So then I just picked it up, slid it over, picked up the other side and slid it over, and you'd think we were done, right? Oh no. No, I had to take the whole lintel and flip it upside down, do a complete 180 on it. So I got the polished side down and the groove, which you can see right here by my finger, the groove in the correct position. Now as we go up block by block, and I'm a little leery about going up 4 blocks, as we have to go up 4 blocks and 2 bricks. And I'm a little concerned with picking up something that's 32 inches high like that. I think we're going to have to tie this off for safety in case it gives. But as we go up block by block, we have to put a towel under the lintel so that we don't scratch the finish I put on the lintel. So we'll go block by block. I'll do a block, then we'll take a rest. I'll do a minute here. Quick, exerting myself. One little known fact about me is that I have lung damage. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but from my accidents I have lung damage, and if I overdo it, this is what happens to me. So I've got to slow down a little, obviously. I'm going to sit here and choke, and you don't have to listen to that. So we'll get on to moving these up. Well, the totem's going up. We're 2 blocks up. Now I'm using safety straps as I go in case it slips. No guarantee that these ropes will hold it for any length of time, but it'll hold it long enough for Debbie and I to get clear, so it's just simply a safety strap for us. I'm not going to show us picking each end up. The reason is there's a lot of talking when we do it. Debbie and I have been married 37 years this year, and we cuss back and forth at each other and yell at each other, and you don't need to hear that. But I'll just show you as we get up higher. The dangerous part is when I get up 4 blocks. We're going to go 4 blocks and two bricks. 4 blocks, 2 bricks. And that's where it gets kind of shaky, but with the safety straps I think we'll be all right. So we'll be back when we do another row or 2. Well, Debbie and I worked it out. We've got it up 4 high. Now what we did was we took this and I lifted up one side and let this fall in underneath the block, underneath the lintel. Debbie came and supported it because she could not pick the block up 4 high. She got 3 high just fine, but she couldn't hit number 4. So I picked this up, it fell into place, plunk underneath it like so, and then I let go of it. Debbie supported it, and I put the 4th block in. Now we have 2 half blocks, and she can handle the half blocks. We have to go up with the half blocks, and we're ready to assemble the whole thing. We're going to take a few minutes right now, though, and we're going to wash the windows real carefully in the frames. They've been sitting out for almost 3 years, because I got a deal on them 3 years ago, so we're using them now. So we're going to wash them real carefully, and we'll be back with the when we get the 4th blocks up. And it was a distraction to have the camera on, even though I'm sure you guys would have liked to have seen us do it. It would have been a distraction for Debbie. And you got to remember something, neither one of us are 20 years old anymore, and Debbie is 55 going on 30, but she's still got a 55-year-old body, and she's doing great. But she just can't lift some of the stuff like she could when she was 30, and she could have when she was 30, but now we make allowances. So this is what we did. We did a good job of it. We'll be back and show you the rest in a minute. Well, folks, that's it. The window's up and in. Debbie and I managed, just like the Rapa Nui, to finish our moai. And you might wonder how we did it with all that weight, just the 2 of us, 2 old people. And you know, it made me wonder, archaeologists came along, you know, hundreds of years after the Rapa Nui and Easter Island set their moai statues up. Made me wonder what would happen if somebody came along here in 500 years, couple thousand years, and came across this place all built out of bottles and stone, and what would they think of it? What would they wonder about it? Hello again, and kind and gentle greetings to you, my friend. This is your presenter, fellow citizens, Bass Ackwards, and I am here at our new archaeological site, where the wind is blowing with such ferociousness because this is a great desert right now. But at one time, our head archaeologist, he assumes it was once a great and grand jungle, because right here on this spot, we have found wonderful, wonderful remains and ruins. And I will tell you a bit more right now. This structure here, according to our foot archaeologist, not the head archaeologist, the foot archaeologist, it says that perhaps This structure, which he is now filling with water, was once used by the ancient peoples of this place called America. And they would use this, and it faces exactly 132.387 degrees below the constellation Donald Trump. Now, at that configuration, we assume that it pulled the water directly from the constellation into this grand structure here. How they built it, how they moved these massive rocks, remains a mystery. How the water came, it remains a mystery, but they did it most likely using technology from the constellation Donald Trump, or perhaps energy from the navel of the world. Now, we must show you one more structure. Let us go there now. There. Does my mom fart look okay? Very good, very good. Go, cue me, please. Now, my friends, we're in front of a very, very unique and special structure. Note the very esoteric writing here. We do not know what it means, but the color is a color that they used very, very often at that time in ancient history to show something of great, great importance. This structure, according to the stomach archaeologist, not the head archaeologist, the stomach archaeologist, he has said that it was a great place of prayer. And he says this because if you check the orientation is exactly 200 degrees from due north. Now, 200 degrees from due north is a very, very auspicious number, we assume. We are not certain, but we assume that in this great jungle at one time, that the 200-degree declination was exactly what was needed in order to worship their God properly. We can only assume that what they did, they came in to the great tub, and they made great gonging sounds, and assembled within, and they talked from within here to their God at that time. Now, we all know that the God, of course, that they worshipped was a false one, that the great God we now call the dollar is the only God there is, and his messenger is the CEO. That we know now, but in those days they were primitive people. So there are many other things here, but I cannot do a whole show. I did want to show you these two things. So from now, from this great and grand archaeological dig, this is your presenter, backwards, saying Shalom Salim to all of you. Interesting. Maybe it would go that way. Maybe it already has when you think about the theories for some people have come up with for how the pyramids were built, or Angkor Wat, or what the Mayan temples were for. Who knows, but that's a whole nother set of videos. Hey, for right now, we finished with the hardest part. We've got this window up. We have built our monument. We have built our stone statue. Our moai we have built. Just like the Rapa Nui built their moai on their island, Debbie and I built our moai. And I tell you what, that's something just to look at and figure out how in the hell did they do that. It was awfully big and heavy, but we got it in, ready now to go and do the walls, carry the walls up and go on into the bathroom and get the bathroom done so Debbie and I can move the rest of the way out of that travel trailer and put it up for sale. So, get ready for part 5. It's going to be very exciting as I build the wall with bottles. And I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you enjoyed the ones leading up to it. I'm trying to be a little bit more entertaining to you. Let me know what you think. By the way, back on the home page of Eco Ranch USA, there is that donate button. I believe I'm pointing at it. If you're a multi-millionaire and you can spare a bit, we need a bit. So anyway, it's Robert Earl out here in the deserts of far west Texas at the Eco Ranch. And hey, until tomorrow. Bye for now, guys.